Hey folks, Beerbones here, just making a short video going over the Operation Ratum, whatever you want to call it event. Basically it involves up to 4 players being pitted against NPC Grineer in a team deathmatch style arena, which uses the conclave maps. For every match that you win, which requires that your team gets 25 kills, you earn judgment points, which can get you the Rathum badge at 3 points, the Rathum sigil at 10, and finally the Furax Wraith at 100. You can selectively work your way through 3 different missions before you can eventually fight Killa Dathame. Third mission, which you'll be doing a lot by the way because it's really grindy this event, involves you fighting level 60 plus enemies depending on which modifier you get for the match. What makes these missions quite challenging is you can't use your gear like your energy restores and etc. during the match, and the enemies can be incredibly hard and can cause a lot of damage to your warframe, especially the little death Carabus robots that kind of spawn in. They can just wipe you out in seconds. The game mode can be made fairly easy by using Ash's Bladestorm with an EV Trin. The Cyanoid Simulator is a good weapon to use as well, as it's got its Syndicate proc which can earn you back energy, which can only be picked up from around the room. Once you get 100 points, you finally get to face off with Killa Dathame, eventually, which can get you the Twin Comacs if you manage to kill her. You know, sometimes I think some people don't actually get them all the time. I think there's like a certain drop chance, so you won't get them every time you do the fight. There's some new mods as well for specific weapons, income and overlay. Defeating Killa is relatively easy once you learn what to do. The fight can be pretty confusing if you've never actually seen it before. As long as you avoid her orbital strike, which gets called down during her invulnerability phase, you're pretty golden. To get her out of this phase, which you eventually get into once you've burnt her down a certain percentage of her health, the player needs to stand on a pressure pad in the centre of the arena and then shoot green plates, which are over like a kind of like spinning bezel. Once you shot these green plates, you know you should have to shoot all 4 of them. That eventually triggers that pad, and then there's another 3 pads that you have to do the exact same on. So each player should get 1 each, depending, you know, if you've got 4 players with you. If you're solo, you still need to do all 4 on your own. It's not kind of just player dependent. When that's done, she'll jump down and becomes attackable again. You kind of need to do this a couple of times depending on what, you know, how many of you there is. Depends how long it takes you to burn her down. Using a frost comes especially handy during this phase, as the rollers can knock you off the pressure discs and start to really piss you off really fast. Like I was trying it without a frost for a little while, and you just get bombarded by rollers all the time, and it just makes, you know, it just takes a lot longer to do the phases and then get to attacking again. So you're better off having a frost just to make it a bit easier for yourselves. Just be aware, if you want to get all the mods from this event, you'll need to do a lot of grinding, which isn't great, especially when numerous members of the Warframe community, you know, usually complain about getting burnt out and stuff like that, and things like this do not help at all. You know, this isn't helped by the fact that you can get the same mods multiple times over again. So if you get Vulcan Blitz the first time you do it, the second or third time you do it, you could get Vulcan Blitz again. So, you know, if you're wanting to do the battle again, you have to do 5 more missions of the 3rd arena mission. So you have to do 5 more of them to get 50 points before you can face Killa again after the first time you faced her. So every time you want to face her or get the mods again, you have to do 5 more of that 3rd arena mission, which just turns it into a total grind fest. Now don't get me wrong, I love doing this for the first time, you know, because it was something new and unique that I hadn't seen before. You know, the boss fight was really cool, and I quite like the kind of arena thing that it had going on. But after the first time, it got dull really fucking fast. Thankfully, you know, like the mods just seem kind of gimmicky. You know, I was kind of like looking forward to getting to the boss fight and then farming the mods and, you know, seeing if, you know, I could put them into builds and such. But it doesn't seem to be like that. They seem like they're more kind of gimmicky, you know, kind of placeholder things at the moment. You know, it's not like something that you'd see in like endgame builds, I would think. I'm not really sure if this is maybe D's kind of way of trying to get more people to do Conclave, or maybe they're trying a new system of like AI based Conclave for people who don't, you know, want to fight like their friends or whatever. I don't know, either way it just kind of seems kind of badly implemented. The whole like the boss fight, I loved the boss fight. I thought it was really enjoyable. I enjoyed the whole thing, you know, the whole kind of different dynamic of it. But I think it was just leading up to the boss fight that was the thing that disappointed me, you know, having to farm those points to do it again. Like every time you wanted to do it, you had to do 5 of the 3rd arena mission before you could do the boss fight again. I just felt like that was just too much grinding for me. It just kind of killed the whole kind of thing for me, really. I was just a wee bit disappointed as well with like the mods as well. You know, I thought like after all this grinding that I've done, you know, I've got to the 100 points. You know, I did the boss fight, which, you know, was kind of a bit of a pain to start with, because you never really knew what you were doing to start with. I was kind of just guessing for ages. It was quite funny to watch because everybody was dying around me due to the orbital strike. And then you eventually get a mod and you look at it and you go, what the fuck, what am I going to use that on? You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck am I going to do with that? You know, it's cool. I mean, you shouldn't really complain, you know, because it's free, it's a free event. But it just feels like it's quite time consuming, especially people who have like busy lives. I can't see them doing this to get all the mods, you know. Hopefully, you know, we'll be able to do the boss fight afterwards, still get the mods, you know, for people who aren't willing to grind. Anyway, guys and girls, if you have any questions about the event, or you know, you want to tell me your thoughts about it, you know, if you liked it, you disliked it, things that maybe could have done better, please leave a comment, guys, and I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, it helps out so much, guys. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you again soon.